So in Palworld, you'll find many different locations that suit you, what you want to do with your base, how you want to build it, and the big thing that I can suggest is the maximum amount of bases that you can do is going to be free. I believe that is just a non-negotiable. There is no room at the moment to be able to go any more than that. So picking free bases is going to be absolutely massive. So personally, when I go for a starter base, so this is going to be from level 1, absolutely 0, all I've personally done is literally just gone down this hillside. Mainly because it's flat, it can start my resources, I can kind of get my level up, and naturally, once you've built a base, you don't necessarily have to keep it. You can move everything along, so it's not necessarily a big deal to move it once you can do multiple. So if I show you where my second base is, this one is going to be in this red zone. So straight in the middle here, you will find it's next to the Desolate Church. You will have to move it a little bit on from there just because you can't put it basically next to a monument or a fast travel location. And the reason, as you can imagine, why I've chosen this is a massive ore location. There is, I can't even go up. In fact, if I bring this out, you will be able to see that I believe normally there is a solid 8 to 9 ores here. I believe it's the same for everybody else, and it's kind of one of the biggest ones that I could find that was really close. So you can literally just come across here, so it is literally straight route down. I walked here to start with until we got the flying mount, and then you can obviously utilize all of your kind of turtle shaped things to mine them. What I do from here is naturally when it comes to the actual base, all I've done is put in a few beds because I've got my furnaces here, and as you see, this is going to be the resource to get trees as well, so it's great for charcoal, but then also I can have my ingots there as well to be able to put them in, and I can transport them to the little box over here. Should probably bring it a little closer, and then what I can do from there is take it to this and then transfer over to the main base. That's if you should choose. Naturally, that's going to require a lot of different resources from just weight that you can carry, but there is a lot of choices because realistically when we look at the different zones that you can go with, there is a whole map that you can choose from that you can do bases. As you see, I'm kind of just trying to explore as much as possible to be able to get everything unlocked, and that's going to be perfect with any flying base. Do not try and do this on the ground because it will take you a long time. So when it comes to resources and what you're looking for and what basically the best base strategy is, I would possibly have 1 or 2 bases purely dedicated to resources because really I want a base to actually have some meaning behind it as well. That would be what my third base would be. So as we see, when we go through, we've got our mining and also logs. That's going to be perfect for a resource, and you can also use that as almost a supply base. The extra things that you'll need is going to come in ore and also coal. These are the only other 2 that then allow you to do everything else. When it comes to resources for different materials, for instance, such as cement, which is going to be another massive one, and also gunpowder, you are going to need power fluid, you're going to need bones. You can grind that out to some aspect, but a lot of that time it's either going to be through merchants or it's going to be through actually taking out or catching pals. So that's going to be almost a location, so the best locations for it. For instance, if I was looking at power fluids, you want to be looking at, I believe, you can go somewhere on the coast, so you obviously need a lot of water, but there is a specific location. I want to say, is it here? I'm pretty sure when you kind of load into this part, if I'm right, if it's the same zone, once it loads, that'd be perfect. Yeah. So yeah, this is perfect. So this is going to have a huge amount of water powers that you can get rid of straight away. They are aggro kind of orientated as well. Let's get out my pal because I don't want to do this all on my own. I kind of just use a bow to start with. I don't want to waste any ammos until I've got a full kind of zone. As you see, they're already absolutely killing it. So I've got no power fluid on me, so I'll show you what I can get back in a second. Are you looking for gift cards, game keys and more? Head over to U7Buy for a variety of cards you can get today. From PSN, Steam, all the way to Xbox. With huge amounts of price variations, check the link in the description for cheap, reliable digital cards for you right now. So as we're finished now, we're just rounding up all of the remaining power fluid. As you see, they are very aggro, which is always nice. And we've had to actually use our pistol just because there was a fair few of them, and I have got my kind of drops on a little bit more of an enhanced rate. It's not quite max, but we did manage to get 33 from that. As you see, there is still a huge amount going on over there, so this is going to be perfect if you want them resources. So away from that, we are looking then for a coal base. So if I was going to go onto the map, let's transfer back here and I'll show you where to go. So if you head over to this location, which I'm going to show you right now, let's go. Oh, he's dead. Beautiful. So what you'll see from here is if you go over to the sealed realm of the Guardian, or if you're on the Snowy Mountain Fork, or you've managed to go up here, then you want to be looking at this location. So if we just go in correlation to your base straight up into this icy bit here, you will then find just past the big pond this almost hillside. You've got yourself your coal over here, and you've also got some ore over here as well. So this is going to be a perfect spot to make a base that could potentially have coal and ore. The question is, I don't know if I have enough to show. I don't. That's very, very annoying. But you should be able to still build this if I was to just build it somewhere kind of like here, I would say, because then it should be able to get everything in. The one thing whenever building a resource base is do not build where this is. So when you get rid of this, make sure you don't put anything down here. So you want to put your beds like here, you could put them all along here, you could put them at the top, anything that is flatter, but make sure you do not put where your resources spawn. Another thing, because basically that will just stop it spawning. So I found that normally it kind of took a day or two in Palworld days and it would respawn. So naturally just leave your pals here to do it, keep them the food, keep them the basic base, and that's going to be your resources. So then you've kind of got the options of pretty much a coal and ingot base here, or a, refined ingot and then normal ingot, as well as then just anything else you need coal and ore for. So that would kind of just delegate this base completely gone. So I might change my base for up here, and then I've got a third location. So I could either just keep this as a resource base, so I just make sure that everything's running smoothly there. I could then bring my resource base up here, and then you've got the options of either more of a design base, so you can build your house there. You could obviously build more of a structural kind of design. You could put all your marketers in there, your black market merchants. You could put all of them in that base and use that as kind of almost a farm for them. Or you can literally just go and get another resource base. So I think other than that, from them kind of places that I've told you, the next best place really would be the Chiller Alpha Pal. So for instance, that is down here. You should be able to farm that. If you was to get a base somewhere around here, you should be able to farm the ancient civilization parts quite easily from this part. So if I was to fast travel here, then what I could do is set up a base very close to it. Every time it spawns, you could obviously just go ahead and destroy it. That's going to be really the best places you can go. Other than that, it's very much your own oyster. There is plenty of places. Don't think that this is the only place that you'll find coal and ore. They are scattered throughout this whole map. And to be honest, until I started flying from place to place, I didn't realize how big this map actually is. There's obviously bits that I still need to kind of go through and cover. There is a lot of water in between, but honestly, this map is absolutely huge. So go with your own settlements. If you want one right next to Anbus, then do it. But in terms of the best places I've found, they're going to be your #1 base locations.